Derek need a beating.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Again, go to our YouTube channel, Stephen Knight Show, and follow, like, subscribe. All right, so Lil Nas X is under fire. So he released a video called Monterio, where he's pretty much making love with the devil, seducing the devil, and it's very hard to watch, disturbing. He's got a lot of feedback from it. Some people are praising him, a lot of people are criticizing him. Well, he came out over the weekend and said that he has announced his new shoe. It's a custom Nike shoe that has hint of human blood. Now, according to Lil Nas X, the Satan shoes are being made in collaboration with streetwear company MSCHF, using one of Nike's most famous designs, the Air Max 97s. Nike, however, must not have gotten the memo, because they released a statement saying that they have no involvement in these shoes or Lil Nas X. And so, what do you think? I know controversy sells, but do you think this is going too far, Chike, or do you think this is what artists do?
Well, first of all, I only can speak from my perspective. I refuse. I seen on Instagram a little clip of the video. I refuse to watch it because I feel like it's something evil that I'd rather not ingest. I don't even want to see it. From the images that I did see when I saw on Instagram, I can't understand why would you even play around with something like that. That's not, I don't see the appeal. However, he has a fan base. They will follow him. That's your choice. I believe that what energy you put out will come back. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And then he says he only has 666 pair of these shoes to be sold. And that's the devil number. And he's selling them for $1,018 in reference to Luke 10:18, which speaks of Satan's fall from heaven.
Has he come out as a devil worshiper? Has he said that?
I'm just waiting. Just come on out of the closet. You came out of one closet, come out of the other one.
Because all the activity is of such. Like, I would not play around with that at all.
No.
That's too much. That's too much. Like you said, Chike, this is, and it's frustrating because there are so many children that cult worship this kid and follow him blindly because he swooped them all in with that hit. You had kindergartners to old Asian ladies at the cleaners. Everybody singing Old Town Road and dancing to it. It became a popular family tune, barbecue. It transcended race, gender, color, creed, religion. Everybody knew this song, and it became a jovial hit for everybody.
My dad loved the song.
So I'm just like, when my kids first started singing, I was like, what in the name of God are y'all singing? I was like, that sounds like a country song. They were like, Mom, look. So I was like, okay, it's cute. Everybody can kind of sing along. But I almost feel like he threw out the fishing rod and now he's reeling it in for whatever sinister. And I don't know the man.
Right.
But that, I'm not, like Chike said, there's certain places I'm just not going. I don't want to die. I don't want to ingest that. I don't want my eyes to take that in and put that in my spirit, or I don't want that in my mind. Even like Chike, like you said, the images, when I saw those, I was like, I kind of put my hand up to the screen. I was like, oh, I don't play with that. That's just that's just as bad as talking back to my mother when she was alive. There's certain things I just don't play with. That's one thing. I don't play with Satan. We're not friends. We're not going to sit and collect ourselves and be one. It's too much. He's gone to a place, and all of the people that worship Lucifer, they are going to come out of the woodworks because there are more than people know. And there are things, I'm just going to say this. There are things at work, like I said earlier, that are behind what we can't see, that people are playing with. And he's playing with those things right now.
Yeah.
He's playing a dangerous game.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, it's been a full year since, almost a full year since George Floyd was tragically murdered by Derek Chauvin in front of a crowd in Minneapolis. Now the trial started today. So his attorney is made a bold claim that George Floyd did not die from Chauvin's knee on his neck for 8 minutes, which they thought it was 8 minutes. It really was over 9 minutes. They found that out in court today. But instead, they say he passed away due to drugs and other health conditions that he may have had. Now, I know you talked about this, Nia, how angry you were, following the trial and everything today. What are your thoughts? Because what they're doing, they're saying that they are shaming the victim in this case, and they're saying that's very tricky thing to do, but it's the only thing they really have because most cops don't get indicted. What are your thoughts?
I think that if the jury is a jury of his peers, they will believe whatever it is that this attorney puts out. It's unfortunate, but I pray that that's not how that goes. I pray that there are some human beings in that jury pool, not racists, not bigots, because I feel like you're inhumane when you exercise this whole idea of racism and discrimination against people of race, color, or creed. So I feel like if it's his peers, and I mean people that believe that, Black lives don't matter, people that believe that, we don't have rights, we have all of these underlying conditions, that our deaths are on our hands, our blood is on our own hands, and they don't want to be culpable in anything or take any responsibility, then unfortunately, I feel like they're going to buy it if it's his people. Now, if these are good human beings that see the wrong and saw what all of the world saw, and they're willing to keep that here and say, hey, I know what I saw. They're playing on their intelligence. They're using their racism and bigotry to their advantage. Like, no, you remember, just pay attention to the news and this and that. And you'll see that, those people, as they like to say, this is what they do. And they don't have good health. And that's the violin he's playing right now. And he's going to try to ride that wave all the way to an acquittal, because there are people in the world that just like people believed Orange Man's foolishness. And it was pure foolishness, but they soaked it up like it was gold.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's what's going to happen. If the jury isn't the right kind of people, we're doomed.
Apparently, I think it's 5 white people, 4 Black people, and 2 people who identify as mixed race as who's on the jury. And a lot of them had not seen the whole video of George Floyd's murder. And so that was the opening argument. They made them watch the 9 minutes and however long. And then a lot of them hadn't seen that, and they had to see that. Derek Chauvin was there, but he was taking notes the whole time. He had his head down taking notes. Now, one of the witnesses was the 911 operator, who she is the one that called the police on George Floyd. When she got the call, she sent the police out, dispatched the police out. And she was watching it on the monitor around the 8-minute mark. And she thought her monitor had froze because he was on his neck so long. And so she ended up calling a deputy saying, I may come off as a snitch, but I'm concerned about what's going on this crime. So they were saying that was a strong witness because, the fact that she's part of all that, and she thought something was wrong with it. You know what I mean? They also had an eyewitness. This one woman who worked across the street, she had recorded 7 videos, and they played her narration and the actual footage side by side, so you could see her perspective, what she was seeing. But it's supposed to last, I think, 3 weeks, this trial. Chike, what are your thoughts?
I'm literally not holding my breath, but I'm holding my breath. That's all I can do. And pray that it doesn't turn out like all the other situations.
Yeah.
And because what I'm afraid of is the after, if the verdict doesn't come back favorable for the family. I'm worried about the after. They remember what the before was. They remember what the before was. And now
the city's already boarded up.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
They are going
and that's
to
what I'm afraid of.
city to the ground.
It doesn't matter.
There's not going to be anything left. There's not going to be anything.
Well,
all this
justice.
Ugh.
Yeah. All right. Well, our last story, we switch gears. Now, there is the most petty company here in Georgia. So, a Georgia man says that his former employee owed him $915 after he left in November 2020. And they paid it to him in greasy pennies. According to reports, Andres Flayton left his job, AOK, Walker Auto Works, located in Peachtree City, Georgia, in November, and he was owed his final payment. But when he received it in March of 2021, it was in the form of 90,000 pennies that appeared to be covered in oil. He noticed the pennies at the end of his driveway after coming back home with his girlfriend. His final pay stub, an explicit message was also left at the end of his driveway. He said, "This is a childish thing to do." Also, some of the time it took him to clean the pennies, he's worked harder for what money he already owed. So they reached out to the boss and they told the TV that he couldn't remember if he had done it or not because it had been so long. But he said, it doesn't matter. He got paid. That's all that matters. And then he called him a weenie. Yeah, what would you do if you received your last payment in pennies that had oil on them?
Steven, let me tell you something. And I hate admitting this, but I'm going to admit this because y'all family now. I am Emperor Petty. I'm not Queen Petty. I am Emperor Petty. So I would have called my crew and said, I'm going to need for y'all to come over here because I need to clean up these 90,000 pennies. And I would have sprinkled them all throughout that whole place and said, y'all gonna pick up every last one of them and y'all gonna give me my money the way I'm supposed to get it in a check. I would have walked through there sprinkling it like it was a gift and I was Kris Kringle. Jingle bells, you heard all the jingling all over that place. I had a little bag like I was Santa and I would have sprinkled them pennies all throughout that building with a smile on my face. And then I'll find y'all money because it's everywhere.
Right.
Here you go. Take your 90,000 pennies. You get a car like Oprah. You get a car. You get some pennies. Right. Just sprinkled it everywhere. I'm Emperor Petty. I am admitting that. There's no way. You're not going to leave 90,000 pennies on my driveway. Mm-mm. Or I'd have poured them on a boss's car. That'd have been two places different. Don't have a sunroof, son. I would have cracked that thing open, sprinkled them all in, and now clean them out your car since you wanted to sprinkle them on my driveway. And then drove by and said,
Chike, what would you have done?
So I too have a petty streak, and what I will do is rise to the occasion. So just as petty as you get, I can get worse. And
my guy.
my take on it would be, okay, you want to play games? You cannot do a transaction with coin in the business sense unless it's wrapped. And if you just dropped it in my driveway, that's littering. So we're going to call the cops and I'm going to have you with a littering fine. And then you're going to pay me how you're supposed to pay me in a proper financial transaction. You want to play? We can play.
I love how his is riddled with intelligence. Mine is just plain old, I don't even care. But his is
I like your way. I like your way.
Short. It's a Karen move. Karen would do that.
Right, Karen would do that.
Karen would do that.
Keep up with you and everything you have going on.
You guys can keep up with me and follow me on withlovefromnina.com. You can subscribe to my blog and my website, but you also can follow me on Instagram with Love from Nina. That is the place where all things blossom from. So if anything is going on with me, you can go there. And I just launched my podcast. Yay. So go follow the Hope Dealer podcast. The episodes, thank you. The episodes will start airing next month. So if you follow the page on Instagram, you'll get to see snippets of the episodes and it'll be on all of the places where you listen to your favorite podcast. And my goal is to just infuse hope into the world.
Most definitely. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
Always a pleasure. Chike,
I
I'll see you in
always
movies.
love coming to talk to you guys.
We love it. We'll be right back after this.